As you guys can see, we have special guests from the business community here with us today. And we always try to make sure that every entrepreneur is aware of the resources available, the programs available to support them in their journey. And we are looking forward to have our speakers, our panelists, share about their programs for you guys. So I'll just leave it another 1 minute to 2 minutes to give some time to the participant to join us. Let us know in the chat from what faculty you are attending, if you are a student or staff here at the University of Manitoba. We would love to connect with you. So feel free to use the chat to introduce yourself. If you are a student, what program are you taking? In what year are you? We really want to get to know you a little bit better. Let us know if you are interested to entrepreneurship, or if you are an entrepreneur, use the chat as you like, because that's where we get all information. That's where we can connect with you today. Again, thank you for being here. I'll give it another minute before we start. My name is Karen Bado. I hope you guys know me by now. I'm the venture coach here, and I will be hosting the webinar today. We have special guests from the business community with us, and they are here to share about programs and resources available to entrepreneurs, students at the University of Manitoba, or entrepreneurs in the community. Anyone who has a business idea is welcome to contact them, and this will be an interesting webinar. Perfect. So we are going to start. Again, the chat is where we want you to use the chat to engage with us. Let us know what faculty you are attending if you're a student. Let us know if you're taking any specific program, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, if you are working on a business. Feel free to use the chat today. And just a quick reminder that we want you to remain on mute throughout the webinar, just to keep it consistent and smooth, and allow everyone to be focused throughout the webinar. We also invite you to use the Q&A to ask any questions. So you don't have to wait at the end. You can ask your questions during the presentation, and they will be answered at the end. The webinar is also recorded. We want to make sure that you have access to this resource, on the website of the Stu Clark Center, so you can always go back and refresh your memory about the services or the programs available for you. And give us a follow on social media. If you want to know what's happening at the center, you want to keep up with the new update, with the competition coming in March, with the next webinars, please send us a request. And this is where you will be able to know what's happening. So we have a LinkedIn, and Instagram, and a Twitter page. With no further ado, I will just be playing a few minute video just to introduce the centers again.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship. It's the light bulb moment from your first big idea. It's the decision to set out on a new path. It's the realization that entrepreneurship starts with a spark, and that spark starts here. At the Stu Clark Center, we're here to nurture your ideas and help spark your entrepreneurial spirit. How? How about competitive opportunities to free your inner entrepreneur? Advice from venture coaches who have walked the walk. Or some of the best networking events you'll find on campus. You'll find it all right here. By focusing on education, awareness, community, coaching, and connection, we build strong relationships with our students and do everything we can to help them on their journey to self-starting. At the Stu Clark Center, we thrive when you thrive. No idea is too big or too small. The Stu Clark Center is your one-stop shop for everything you need to start your journey. So why not start today?
Why not start today? I really love that line, because there's no time to waste when it comes to entrepreneurship. You can start today. And my name is Karine again. I'm the venture coach here at the Stuart Clark Center. My role is to support any student across faculty, anyone who has a business ideas or who's just interested to learn more about entrepreneurship. I'm pretty sure that everyone now is contemplating entrepreneurship as a career. So any questions you may have, please feel free to join, to contact me, to just drop by the centers if you have any questions, and I would love to discuss that with you. A little bit of my background: I have over 7 years of experience in accounting and financial analysis. I also work as a business consultant, and I'm a community enthusiast. I really love to see people succeed and step into their purpose. So again, any question you may have, feel free to join me, to contact me. And I'm not alone. We have a team of wonderful expert people passionate about entrepreneurship here at the centers available to support you. We have the director, Deborah Jonathan Young, Lindsay Friesen, our marketing coordinator, Amy Jones, our program coordinator. So anything that comes to competitions, she's the one working hard to make that happen. And Roxanne Scarf, our office administrator. The office is located on the 2nd floor at the Drake building. We are open from 8:30 to 4:30. Feel free to join, to just pop by. You can also book a meeting if you are comfortable with virtual interactions. Don't worry, we got you covered. You go on the website, you select a time and a date that works for you, and you'll be able to book a meeting with me. We have a very strong lineup for the winter because today is unfortunately our last fall webinar before the holidays. We have had a great time, and you guys can still check out the website to see the different topics that we were able to elaborate on during the fall. But stay tuned, keep up with us, because we will be coming back in January with a strong lineup again. We try to make sure that we cover important topic that can help you succeed or learn more about entrepreneurship or succeed if you are choosing entrepreneurship as a career. The events are already listed on the website. I'm taking the time here to announce that we're having a great speaker on March 8th. The event is also on the website. Please go and take a look and start RSVP. I know calendars fills up pretty fast, so make sure you check out the website and you reserve for the events that will come next year. So today, as I mentioned, I'm very, very excited to have a very strong panel from our community partners, from Lab to Market, Northforge, the Innovation and Partnership Office, and Mitacs. I am very fortunate to work closely with each organization, and I'm looking forward to hear about the different programs that they have in store. So with no further ado, we're gonna start with Yvette from Mitacs. She's gonna come and introduce the organization to the rest of us.
All right, thank you very much, Karen. I'm going to share my slide here. And hey, I think we're good. I have only 2 slides, so very simple. My name is Yvette Shang. I am the senior advisor for Mitacs. So if you haven't heard of Mitacs, we are a national not-for-profit funding agency. So we provide funding support to researchers and entrepreneurs to promote your research and innovation activities. So this is also today, because our topics is on entrepreneurs, so I'm just taking out our entrepreneur program for you and have a brief introduction. So our entrepreneur program is called Accelerate Entrepreneur, or E-Accelerate. So the model of Mitacs or Mitacs funding programs is based on 3 stakeholders. One is a students, or most of you, I hope. So you can have your own startup. You could be an undergrad or master's student, PhD, or postdoc. So any level of you, even you're a college student, you're welcome. And then you will need an academic supervisor to be on the academic side, to be the grant holder for you. and then we connect you with the incubator. So here you can see all of our partners here. We have Whitney from Northforge, and they are over University Links incubator. So they will be providing business mentorship to you. And then Mitacs will be mainly funding your project. So once you have these three partners, like the golden triangle, we can make a project, and the project, it has to be research related. So what we're looking for is mostly research and innovation. So if you have a very innovative idea and you want to make it your own business while doing your studies, this is the program for you. I really like in the video we showed that you never wait to start your business. Anytime now is the best time, right? So our funding is, we understand some of the startups, they start fast and fail fast. But our funding is a grant, so it's different than a loan or other things. Is for you to try things out. So this is our model. We do match industry funds. So in this case, we consider the students your own business as the industry as well. So we match your funds to provide a sort of double your funds to start your business. So there's a little bit more explanation of how we do this program. So student will develop your idea for your own startup companies, and then we will provide industry mentorship by connecting you with Northforge here. And then you will receive support, financial support from Mitacs Accelerate program. And then the entrepreneurial student themselves will provide the matching fund, and you can start your project. So this is just a corner of our Mitacs programs. You can see there is also Brenda from Lab to Market and Darren Fast here from Partnership and Innovation Office. Actually, we work with them all. Mitacs is a matchmaker to help you make the connections. For example, Lab to Market, you will hear from Brenda, is also part of Mitacs support, that Lab to Market is providing you the training for commercialization, and Mitacs match for the funding part. So without further ado, I think I will leave the good topics to the others, and I will leave my contact information in the chat, and you can reach out to me. Go, thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvette, for your presentation. I have the privilege to work with Yvette as well. And again, Mitacs is open to students. You don't have to be necessarily a PhD or graduate, like you see, as long as your project is research oriented. And even there, maybe you're not sure if you are working on a research, you can always reach out to Yvette and Mitacs team, and they can confirm if yes, your project can qualify for funding. So thanks again, Yvette, for your presentation.
Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention. I forgot to mention our collaboration with SCCE as well. So for any of the student entrepreneurs, we'll introduce you to SCCE and Northforge, and you will receive mentorship from both. So just don't forget that.
That's perfect. Thank you. So Yvette is confirming that we are working with, Mitacs is working with Northforge as well, and providing a kind of support and coaching services. And now we're gonna provide you with some information concerning my Lab to Market. So we have Brenda Fitz with us. She's the head of the program. And Brenda, how are you doing today?
Thanks. I'm doing good for a freezing day. Winter is upon us, but I'm doing really good, thanks. And it's good to be here. It's nice to see all of the partners that we work with very closely together today. And all of our main focus is working with post-secondaries to help get that entrepreneurship wheel going. So I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Perfect.
There we go. And I thought what I'd take you through is just really our website to show you exactly, rather than to do any slides, is to show you, we now have, it says 2 cohorts completed. We just finished our 3rd one yesterday. And we have our 4th one ready to go with applicants already selected to be able to go in the winter. And we're hoping to run another one as well, or maybe a couple more next year as well post. So Lab to Market really came up. We are one of 4 Lab to Markets. We service Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta post-secondary. And it's really looking at how do we get the commercialization thinking out of the lab and into the market. And what we do is really help you hone in on that market validation and customer discovery. And so we weave the program within the 4-month Mitacs unit, and we start with a 5-day boot camp. And that 5-day boot camp is intensive, and it's to get you out of the lab mentality and get you thinking about things like design thinking, human-centered design, starting to think about why would a customer care about what you've just designed or developing or thinking about? Is there a market for it? What other competition is out there? And you work very closely with industry mentors. Corinne is one of our industry mentors. And so is Darren, who's on we've got 2 of our mentors here who have been lifers over the last several cohorts, which has been amazing. And you also have access to very experienced industry facilitators as well. And they take you through this journey. So we have a whole village, as we say, to help you discover entrepreneurship and what that means. So we start with a 5-day boot camp, and I'm just going to go over to the program. And this is the program that was set up for cohort 4. So you can kind of see how it's set up, and some of these dates will vary, but we do start with the boot camp, and then we go into the core program, as we call it. And these shift over to 1 day a week for 9 weeks, and you're really focusing on certain topics. Our mentors are in there for a 45-minute Q&A in every class. So you have open sessions. This cohort, we had 10 amazing industry mentors. Now, these are not mentors that are specific to your technology or your research, but they are mentors that run the gambit of experience and expertise in the entrepreneurial field. So as we said, we've had Corinne, and still working with Corinne to come in as our mentors. Darren, who's intellectual property specialist, startup specialist as well, has worked in many different fields. We've had trade commissioners. We have mentors who are actually beaming in from the other side of the world. And between all of us as a cohort, as a collective, we probably touch almost every corner of the world to be able to help you hit those 100 customer interviews or stakeholders that you're attempting to do. Now, that sounds like a really big number, but the reason we do that, and it's proven, is that you start to pivot. And once you maybe hit 30 interviews, then you go, oh, I'm hearing the same thing. So that must be a good thing as you work on your business canvas. Or you might be hearing a different story. So you start to do that pivot. The other important part is that you're also funded $15,000. So $10,000 is your stipend for participation. And then you have $5,000 that you can use towards LinkedIn memberships, conferences, tools for your lab, things that you may be experiencing or working on further within your discovery as you work through the 4 months. We have class 10 and 11, which we just completed, which is really the wrap up. And it's just an amazing program to watch how individuals come into the program. And it's almost like going from the cocoon to the butterfly, because really understanding where we see the participants that are able to do that 4-minute pitch, articulate their value, the confidence that they gain, but also their personal and professional network, because we work a lot on brand management as well. And so it's really an amazing program. And I will put my details in there as well, but we really encourage, and we're really excited as the program is growing. For example, for cohort 4, we have 20 spots. People apply for an application to be in the program, and we had 45 applications. Luckily, we're also able to share other applications with the other cohorts, and the other lab to markets, which we're working on to become a national program. So I'm going to end on that note. I encourage you, I'll put the website in there and my contact details as well. And if anyone's interested, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for presenting on Lab to Market. This is my second time being a mentor, and I'm always impressed with the innovations, the ideas that the students are working on. Is there any specific criteria that you guys looking at when you receive applications? To
Thank
get
you. I did miss that one bit. The criteria, we have a set of questions that we ask. We like to know that you have an idea of where you would be targeting your potential market. You don't have to have a prototype. You don't have to have a minimum viable product. You have to have a little bit more than just, I have an idea. So you have to flesh it out a little bit more before you go in. And you need to have an understanding on what value you're bringing to the market, what kind of competition you might have out there. And we know that you don't have all the questions right away, because that's why you're coming into a program like Lab to Market. And we also do a half an hour interview with yourself and your advisor if you're selected. And just one other thing to add is that we work very closely to encourage you to potentially go on to next steps once you become an alumni of Lab to Market with a partner as North Forge to step into the next steps of the program.
Wow, thank you so much, Brenda. So again, another great resource, another great program available for students, you know, a little bit more oriented, again, research oriented. All the information are listed on the website. And as a venture coach, I work with everybody. So even if you are thinking of getting into Lab to Market and you're not quite sure, I mean, you just have the idea and you're not quite sure what your next step should be, always reach out to me and we can work together to get you up on your way to Lab to Market. And our third guest for today is Darren Fast, and I'm very, very excited to hear about what the office is doing for entrepreneurs here at the University of Manitoba. So Darren, it's your moment to share about the program. You are on mute.
Gotta love mute. Sorry about that. So Darren Fast, I run the Partnerships and Innovation Office here at the University of Manitoba. We work in a couple of different areas, one being to take inventions that largely our researchers create, but it could be undergrads as well, and try to move them out of the university into the commercial space. So we will do things like a market assessment, a feasibility assessment, and a patentability assessment, which can be really important. So anything to deal with intellectual property, my office can definitely help with. It is important to note that here at the University of Manitoba, we do have what's called a joint IP ownership policy. So any inventions that anybody really makes on campus are automatically jointly owned between themselves or the inventors and the institution. And we will work with you to make sure that that whole process moves smoothly. We will front the cost of any patent filings prior to sort of moving the technology out. And moving the technology can look in any one of a number of ways, but most commonly it's either as a license to an existing company, or we can help create a startup. And when we create a startup, we work closely with Lab to Market. We send folks to the Stu Clark Center. We work closely with North Forge. So we don't do that per se, but we work closely with the folks in the community who can really help us do that. The second big thing that we do is really try to increase the number of partnerships between researchers and businesses in our community and in the world, really. And so we will do a bunch of matchmaking there. If a business has a challenge that could be solved through research, we will help them find the right researcher or researchers to work with. And then try to pair them up and work on things like what does the project look like? How's intellectual property managed? Who owns what at the end of the day? And so there's a lot of projects, where students are clearly involved, and it's a great opportunity for students to be involved in those projects, because in many cases, it is like a long job interview for that company. And many of those collaborations are funded through Mitacs. So we work closely with Mitacs there as well. And there's a few other funding agencies, but I would say, in the partnership side, Mitacs is definitely the big player there. The third thing that we spend a fair bit of time and increasingly on is really helping to grow the entrepreneurship community on campus. Again, working closely with all the other groups. But we are working on a physical space in University Center that is sort of a pre-incubator. So for folks who are thinking about creating a new business or who are just interested in entrepreneurship, we will have a space in University Center, which will hopefully open within the next year. It's going to be called Idea Start. And that is a spot for folks to work on their business. And so we will have some materials provided by the Stu Clark Center, provided by Mitacs, provided by other folks in the ecosystem, but it'll be a spot where you can really work on your company. You can find others that might want to work with you on a project. We'll run some challenges so that we can help create companies. We'll do things like perhaps a campus ramp up in addition to things that North Forge does to really try and up the amount of entrepreneurial thinking on campus. And that's really quite broad. We also run a competition called Falling Walls, which is based on the Berlin Wall falling quite a number of years ago. That really changed the world. And so we're going to continue to offer that. And so folks who are doing research, can talk about the ideas that they're working on that could change the world in the future. And so that's a really exciting opportunity because the winner of that competition gets to go to Berlin, Germany to compete internationally. And that just happened for our current group just about a month ago. And there was, 63 different countries that were represented there. And so it's a real opportunity to showcase what folks here are doing to the rest of the world. Truly an amazing event. And so we are the office at the university who does all the back end for Mitacs stuff. And Brenda with the Lab to Market group also sits within our purview, so that we're pretty connected, and we're down the hall from North Forge. We used to be upstairs from the Stu Clark Center, but then we moved out to Smart Park. So we like to work together with the community, and that's just sort of part of what we do. So any questions, I'll put my email in the chat, and do feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much for sharing. I always felt like the Innovation and Partnership Office was some sort of very highly technical, inaccessible office, but it's not. So thank you so much for bringing that clarity. And again, the office welcome undergrad, graduate, PhD, researchers. So everyone is welcome to have this conversation. And I get a lot of students coming and asking about, how can I protect my idea? Is this even patentable? And I don't have these questions. And I always encourage them to have the conversation and finding out ways to protect the technology, to protect the ideas. So that's already something that's very helpful. And the connection as well with employers that are looking for help, right? So again, the information will be in the chat. You guys can connect directly with the office if you have any questions. And we will end that presentation portion of the webinar with Whitney Moore from North Forge. I'm pretty sure everybody's excited because everyone has mentioned North Forge, okay? So Whitney, please go ahead and share with us about the programs and resources available to support entrepreneurs.
Man, no pressure, eh? Thanks, guys, for setting me up to be the last one. Even Darren didn't also mention he also sits on the board of North Forge. So as everyone's seen, we are all so intertwined. So I will share my screen. I've got a couple slides that I will share with you guys today. All right. So I am Whitney Moyer. I'm the Program and Communications Director with Northforge. Very excited and happy to be here. You've heard lots of great people in our ecosystem talk about how we all work collaboratively to help entrepreneurs. And so, if I'm unable to answer a question, sometimes I'm going to Yvette, or I'm going to Darren, or we're going to Brendan or Corinne, or whoever it is. We are here to help you in one way or the other. That is all of our goals. So very happy to be here to provide some information on how Northforge can do so. So I'm going to flip through here. So we are the innovation partner for the province of Manitoba, and we are an incubator accelerator based in Winnipeg. But not only are we in Winnipeg, because of that innovation partnership, we cover all of Manitoba. So as I keep going through, all of our programming is online. So you don't have to be physically in the office to meet with us. We do a lot of stuff on Zoom or whatever platform works best. We have a fabrication lab down in the Exchange District. We have offices in Thompson with a fabrication lab, and we have an office in Pinawa. So we do have a wide reach. So happy to provide assistance if you are in any one of those locations. So as it says on the screen, we curate the resources to help entrepreneurs. So we do that through rockstar subject matter experts, our amazing partnerships that we have that you've heard from. We have mentors, we have entrepreneurs in residence, an assortment of sponsors, which SCCE is one of, and a multitude of other resources to help provide the foundational knowledge and the education to build your business. So who do we support? And we get this question a lot as to, does my idea fall under what you're doing? I'm not too sure. If you don't know, reach out and let's have a chat. I'm always a big proponent of having that conversation, and let's see how you may fit within and see if we can kind of work you within our programming. So we help tech-enabled STEM, advanced manufacturing, and innovative businesses. So it could be ag tech or ed tech. It doesn't matter. We're not very specific. On the advanced manufacturing side of things, we do help going from prototype to commercialization through our fabrication lab that is downtown. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as I flip through. So on the tech STEM side of things, we do have a 4-stage founders program. So there's a QR code if you wish to take a picture and flip over to our website that kind of goes through. But as I mentioned, we provide all of the resources to help, and we go from ideation to incubation to investment. We utilize that through a variety of means. We contract Mars Discovery District in Toronto to work on our market validation side of things. Again, we have these entrepreneurs in residence and a variety of other supports for you. So this founders program, and I'm going to talk a little bit about each stage because they are important through the entrepreneurial journey. So we start off at the very start with Pathfinder, which is really that ideation stage. You can come in saying, I've got an idea, I have no idea what to do with it, or I could be in business at Asper School or commerce or whatever degree, and I want to build a tech startup, but I don't know how to do so. Come to us. Let's get you in the program. Let's do it together. So on the Pathfinder side, we really focus on the fundamentals in understanding your market, your customer, and your value proposition. So doing customer interviews, which is always, can be one of the hard parts, and Brenda can attest to that. Market validation is key to ensuring that your business is going to be successful. So we walk through there. We go to Basecamp, which helps walk through a business model canvas, which is a snapshot basically of your business plan put together in a tight knit and easy to digest little document. Then we also help walk through financials, so cash flow, financial projections, risk management, and start to show people how to pitch. Those first two stages that I just mentioned, Pathfinder and Basecamp, free of charge. No cost to them at all. You just need to meet the criteria, either tech, STEM, or advanced manufacturing, and you can go through these stages. The Gets a little bit different when we get further down to Ascent and North Star. So Ascent, which is really our incubator, it is a bit of a different application process. You do get to pitch to get into Ascent. So there is a panel, such as what we've got kind of right now, via Zoom, that you pitch to join. So in this course, in this stage, we help you either develop your MVP, or if you've already got it, we help connect you with beta testers, starting to get that first customer, starting to gain revenue, and then possibly, depending on your thoughts, into investment. There is a charge for this. It is $500 per month. So I do like to make note of that. In North Star, a little bit different. You have to be at least 250,000 in revenue. Again, pumping up the resources for this. You work very close with our CEO to do so, and going to higher investment. Both Ascent and North Star do have access to our North Forge Angel Network, which we've created. We do deal screenings about quarterly, though we've slowed down a little bit just with the entrepreneurs that we have currently, but we do these quarterly as kind of a Dragon Den, if you guys have seen that Dragon's Den. So very excited. Our next one is in February. So excited to get going with some amazing businesses on that. As I talked about on the advanced manufacturing side, we do have the North Forge Fabrication Lab. It's down in the Exchange District, and it is amazing. They say this is the equipment we have, and I can't even fathom how to use some of these things. I am not the expert at the fabrication lab. We have Marnie Staffley and Amelia Nyarku who are down there that are unreal. But our fabrication lab is the largest publicly accessible fabrication lab in North America, which is unreal, operating out of over 16,000 square feet, open 24/7, 365. It's a training focused facility, so we will provide you the training on the machinery or the equipment before you utilize it. So it really helps go from prototype to commercialization if you're wanting to scale your business, or even where your ideas kind of are transformed into something tangible. This hands-on learning space that we do really helps remove the barriers, because a lot of the equipment is quite expensive. We have over 3 million in equipment, as it says there. So whether it's 3D printers, CNC milling, there's a water jet. And again, I can say the names of these, but to comprehend, I encourage anyone and everyone, if you have not gone and done a tour of the fabrication lab, do it. There's open house tours every Tuesday. We are part of First Fridays in the Exchange as well. So if you're interested in taking a look, reach out to me. We'll throw my contact information in the chat. But this is something that you don't want to miss. It's amazing to see some of the work. So if you are from Manitoba, or if you're from Winnipeg, you may have seen possibly Huron Woodworking, who do the Manitoba crib boards, or maybe some of the flight boards at the Forks and others. He does his making out of the fabrication lab. Maker Mind Toys, which does wooden blocks, who was just featured in Elle magazine, out of the fabrication lab. Like, there's a lot of amazing work that's happening there right now. And it is Safe Work certified by Made Safe. So I only have a couple more slides. Oh, well, there we go. That's it. We are all over social media. Make sure to give us a follow. And as I mentioned, if you don't know if your idea fits, please reach out to me. I am always happy and more than happy to connect with you to see how we may be able to help you. I just want to thank, Stu Clark Center for putting this all together for us today, and allowing us the opportunity to showcase how we work together in this ecosystem. And I'm so happy to work with Yvette, Darren, and Brenda on providing these resources. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Whitney, for sharing. I think this was a clear presentation. I can now identify the different stages and offering. Thanks to our panel for sharing about resources available. I think it is so important for entrepreneurs to understand that they are not alone. Many people feel isolated in their journey, and I know today was oriented on innovation and technology, and maybe as an entrepreneur, you're not necessarily seeing your venture being innovative. this is the moment to have this conversation with the expert that we have today. How can you incorporate a little bit of innovation and technology in what you are trying to achieve? Like, we're going toward a world that is welcoming technology and innovation. So at a certain point, every entrepreneur will be exposed to that. So it's the right time to have this conversation. Maybe you're not quite sure if what you're doing will qualify as a research or as an innovative product. They are all here. They've provided with their contact information. Please reach out. They look pretty approachable in my eyes, so they will not turn you away. And if you feel a little bit shy, always come to me, and I can facilitate some of these introductions for you. We're gonna open up now for the Q&A. I think there's one. I'm not quite sure if there's any question. I'll just quickly go through the chat to see if anyone has asked a question. If you haven't, please, this is the moment to ask your question before we conclude for today. Okay, no questions for today, but I do have the questions to our panel today. We often say that entrepreneurs make mistakes, right? It is a part of the journey, but I'm asking you, what is the biggest mistakes that you believe entrepreneurs often make, and how can your service help these entrepreneurs avoid that mistake, or maybe navigate these challenges when that occur? And I'm gonna start with Darren on that question.
Well, what I see is the most common mistake that entrepreneurs make is the not truly understanding their market. And that is by and far the number one thing. They make a bunch of assumptions around, how they're unique, how they're people are going to be interested. So we can help a little bit with that. We've got access to some market databases and stuff, but really things like the Lab to Market program, but we can help you identify the questions to ask, at least, and point you in the right directions through our networks of contacts in industry. But ask the end users. Don't make assumptions, and document what your assumptions are, so you can challenge them and change them from assumptions to facts, regardless of what the outcome is. But you better to have that knowledge than make an assumption.
Wow, that's great. I think market validation is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. How about you, Brenda? What do you think is the biggest mistake, and how Lab to Market can really help entrepreneurs navigate or overcome these challenges if they encounter them?
I don't really see it as a mistake. I see it as they feel it's a challenge. It's a big wall to cold call or reach out to people, and to really hone in on, in 10 minutes, how can I not sell? Because it's not about selling when we reach out to our customers. It's finding out what are their pain points, what keeps them up at night. It's about how are you going to solve problems for this individual that you're talking to, and that might be what you're designing. So I think one of the biggest things is, don't be afraid. Everybody in industry always has to call someone they don't know or reach out to them. And we work with you in how to do that script and how to really get the confidence to be able to have the ask for, do you have anyone else in your network that you could refer me to? 9 times out of 10, everyone will say yes. So it's about building that out, not to be afraid, and find your voice.
Thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing. I think I don't like public speaking, and I'm a venture coach. So there's always a way, like you said, to navigate and learn different techniques to be able to move forward with your business ideas. So I appreciate your input on that. How about you, Yvette? What do you think is the common mistake that entrepreneurs make in this context of research as well?
Mhm. I just want to follow up with what Brenda said is what I see from a funding perspective, right? And similar to a lot of the venture capitals, the entrepreneurs are raising. I feel there is the real entrepreneurs, they will do things right now. But then when for people who hesitate and they were thinking, oh, I'm not ready, I don't know who to talk to, and then they wait for a longer time, that is a common misconception because like what we want to see from an entrepreneur is the right mentality to see the challenges, to act when they need to, so and also see the opportunities, right? A lot of times what I've been told, I haven't been a real entrepreneur myself, and I am on the stage waiting to see what is best for me. I don't think that's the right mentality for sure. What I've been told is actually the idea is not the key thing. So idea could be shared. You could have the same excellent idea as others, but how you do things is the most important thing. Do you have the right way of approaching to what you want to do? Do you have the right management skills? Do you know how to properly raise venture capital or apply to grant? So those are the skills mostly vital for your business and to start. You will need a good idea for sure, but you also need an approach to make it happen. So what we want to see is really see your business happen. And then how do you make it work? You have to act right now. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Yvette. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like you have to act right now. It's actually the last line of the video. How about you start now? So thank you so much, Yvette, on that one. And finally, Whitney, what do you think is the most common mistake or challenge that entrepreneurs face, and how Northforce really support them to navigate or overcome these challenges?
Absolutely. I made a note before you even started asking Darren and scooped that right up. So we're all in the same consensus, that market validation is key, but as opposed to a mistake, maybe an opportunity, as opposed to, a mistake that could be rectified, could be, understanding that we are here to help. So that is one thing, is understanding that these organizations are here and we're a great first step to help them in whatever sense. So, whether it's, going with Darren or Brenda or Yvette or myself, we all work together, and, knowing that we're here to help you is a great first step. But then another piece, aside from the market validation, understanding your customer and talking to them, would also be on the side of, and I've lost my word. And of course, I've lost my word. And that happens to me quite frequently. Would be understanding what makes you unique to, like, that value proposition. What makes you unique? Knowing who your competitors, and competitors is broad too, right? Kind of thinking outside the box. And, if I'm building a matchmaking app or something, there's the select few, but knowing what other people are doing right now to use, that could be useful for you. So thinking outside the box to your competitors and understanding what you do differently and what you do well compared to them. So it kind of goes with Yvette and Darren and Brenda as well.
Wow, that's a great insight. I feel like competition, you can never go wrong with sneaking and finding out what other people are doing so you can do differently. Thank you, Whitney, for sharing, and thank you all for being here with us. We really appreciate your support. Again, to everyone watching today, they are here for you, to support you in your journey. It doesn't matter your stage. If you have questions, if you're not sure, still take the courage, take the leap to connect with them, and they will be able to help you move forward. And again, I'm the venture coach at the Stu Clark Center. I'm here as well. We don't charge for our services, so everybody's welcome. I think there's one question. Okay, so I'm gonna read that to you. Is there specific funding for rural Manitoba? I know who wants to answer that. Is the funding specific to everybody in Manitoba, in Canada, or is this something, any support grant for people living in the rural?
I'll just jump in from a lab to market perspective. So we're a virtual program. So Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba post-secondary institutions, and if you're Mitacs eligible as well. Plus, we also have another category called active participants. So we have so many researchers as well who may have passed their Mitacs eligibility, but we interview them and we bring them in the program, but they're not funded as well. So they get the knowledge and information. So whether you are, as long as you are associated to a post-secondary institution from lab to market, you can apply.
I also want to jump in. I don't know how broad rural Manitoba Alex mean. Mitacs, we really don't. All the disciplines we support, we have special programs funding for Indigenous studies. So any project related to Indigenous people or their community, they have a special matching scheme. In terms of rural, I believe there is other funding agencies that support rural initiatives. I can't name them top of my head, but you could take a look. It's a provincial government funding program, but I'm not sure it is specific for entrepreneurship or for general uses.
Yeah, it's
Thank you,
often
Yvette.
easier
Yeah.
to find funding that is
I'm not sure I understand.
funding that is subject matter specific as opposed to location based specific, but those are out there. You just have to look. As Yvette said, like there are little pockets of funding that people say, hey, we want to help support startup businesses in our community. So sometimes, you know, your community or your RM may have some funding through their chambers. Those are good spots to at least start asking those questions. Is there specific funds available to start something here?
I agree. Yeah, the
you.
economic development officers usually in those rural municipalities or those smaller towns can help you. And also you can take a look at possibly community futures or, you know, even Futurepreneur. You know, they have a multitude of different areas that they could help in as well.
Wow, thank you so much. I think just asking you questions, even if you were not sure, you took the leap, you asked the question, and now you have a few lead to really find the support you need. Any more questions? If not, then I'm just gonna thank the panelists for today. Thank you again for being here with us. We are concluding today. Everybody's now free to log off and carry on with the rest of the day. And again, the webinars are already listed for the winter session. Everybody's welcome to go and register. We have a strong lineup again for the next session. And thank you for joining us, and stay warm. And if we don't see you, happy holidays to everyone. And thank you again for being here with us. Okay, bye.